In the last episode, I had a meeting with AlienBot who gave me the idea of building this food shop, complete with a villager cashier, who we have named Jeff. But the one thing that this food shop lacks is any sort of stock. So in today's episode, we need to get ourselves a good source of emeralds so that we can trade with our villagers to get all of the various different stock that will help us, well, stock the food shop. And I think everybody can probably agree there's only one good way to get a lot of emeralds, and that is a raid farm. Hello humans, I'm the AlienDoctor, but you can call me Alien, and welcome back to another episode of Pinacraft Season 3, where today we're going to be building a raid farm, because as I just mentioned, we need a lot of emeralds. Now, if you didn't see the last episode, then you won't know, but my plan for stocking the food shop is to do a lot of villager trading. So we are selling bread, so we can of course buy bread from these farmer villagers. And we are, of course, selling golden carrots, so we can also buy golden carrots from these farmer villagers. Now, we're also selling golden apples, so we can buy apples from these villagers and then use the gold farm to actually craft some golden apples. Because I don't think there are any trades that give you golden apples. I did take a look. For some reason, I thought there might be, but no, I don't think there is. Now, in terms of the enchanted golden apples, we'll have to just do a whole lot of mining, so we'll probably do that on live streams. And in terms of getting the steak, we will probably build a passive mob farm at some point in the future. But at least for the first part of today's episode, the main focus really needs to be building a raid farm. If you watched any of the earlier episodes of the AlienCraft series, then you'll know that I have built actually 2 raid farms in the past, and they've both been designed by Silent Whisperer. But this time I want to design my own because I'm in the mood for the designing farms, and also, since I built those 2 farms by Silent, the mechanics have changed quite a lot. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is actually place down an armor stand and give it a banner. You see, I'm using a resource pack that I've showed off multiple times called the Bedrock Technical Resource Pack by Mad Hatter and Bud. And one of its features is displaying the spawn spots for, well, pillager outposts. So anyway, what this means is the pillagers will actually spawn on this corner of the block. This should be the northwest corner. I mean, we can check with a map. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the northwest corner. So this is actually where the mobs will spawn, sort of where I'm stood now. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and design some sort of farm. So the first part of the design process was to make a bottom kill chamber that would give us the bad omen effect in the raid farm. So I effectively just used the exact same design that I used for the witch farm, but instead, of course, this was on the raid farm. So I built a trapdoor trident killer around the actual pillager spawning spot, which would give us bad omen when we're at the AFK spot. I then worked out the optimal distance for the raid captains to be able to spawn, as well as making a spawning platform for the raid itself and adding a villager up there. And after tweaking a couple of stuff, we basically had a raid farm that was fully working, which is actually pretty good in terms of time. This didn't take that long to design, so it's probably got tons of flaws, but whatever. So to give you a brief rundown of this raid farm, we of course have the spawning platform up here. Now, it's probably bigger than what you actually need. It's built this size because it should have the iron golem spawning radius. Now, you may be thinking,
but Alien, iron golems don't actually spawn in raids.
Which is very true, but I have this for a future project, so I'm kind of just future-proofing for a future project. No extra points if you could guess what that future project is, because I'm kind of giving it away. We have this, which should be big enough for an iron farm. I mean, iron... Oh, jeez. I've already given away the future project. Jeez. So anyway, that's assuming the bed in here is the village center, which it should be. There was a villager, but apparently the villager no longer exists. So yeah, anyway, we have the villager in here, where this bed will form the village center, and he also has a workstation. Not that he needs one, but might as well give him one, because why not? All the raid will spawn in here and go down into the kill chamber. There's no full damage being used on this, and I'm not actually using an Impaling 5 trident, so maybe I should consider that. This lava is here to basically kill any ravagers, because they're annoying, because of their weird hitboxes. So you'd AFK here, which is in perfect range for raids to spawn, or pillager captains to spawn in the outpost, and then raids to spawn on that actual spawning platform, which is also great, as demonstrated. We then have this Impaling 5 trident, which should have a minecart underneath, but because I unloaded it, the trident broke the minecart. Jeez. But anyway, the point is this would kill any pillagers down here, which is pretty nice. And then on the actual farm, we'll have a bubble column delivering all the experience to the player so that we don't have it all causing lag down here, which is also pretty good because not many raid farms do that for some reason. And yeah, I've already mentioned this, but this is literally the exact same setup for the witch farm that we created as well. Like, literally, this is just the same. This is literally just the witch farm, but built around a pillager spawning spot instead of a witch spawn spot. So there you go. However, back on the Pinacraft server now, before we take a look at any of that, I just want to show you what I've done down here. So there used to be a huge shulker monster down here, and I've pretty much gotten rid of all that. Now, these shulker boxes are actual sorted shulker boxes, so I haven't really touched them. And this I actually need for the raid farm. But yeah, there used to be tons of shulker boxes down here that I've now removed. And I've basically filled up this shuffling storage thingy. It's totally unsorted and that sort of thing, but at least there are some chests there. Now, you may be able to notice that if we go back here, it's all full of glass. That's because having so many chests, especially in spawn, basically caused absolutely tons of FPS lag. So Pinacraft basically removed all of the chests that didn't have any items in. So what I've done is just put all of those chests on the same row. Now, I actually do have some ideas for how we can change this in the future. I'm thinking we could add like tons of workstations instead, or not tons, like we'd make the actual spinny bit shorter. But I'm thinking, basically, my point is I have ideas of how we can improve this concept and revisit it and maybe get rid of that sort of messy wall over there. Speaking of which, I need room ideas because I have this entire corridor that's unfinished in the starter base, and I would very much like to finish this starter base eventually. So I need some room ideas to go in these rooms. I do have a couple of ideas. They'll also probably be the sort of thing that we build on stream, so I'll have to see how that goes. Anyway, we're getting distracted. I need to go and build a raid farm. So here is the outpost that I have claimed. And originally, me and Toad were going to be doing this project, and then we got very, very distracted. We have kind of already started stuff, and I also have tons of resources here already. So you can see here, I have... Okay, well, these shears aren't part of those resources. Oh, no, they are. They're for gathering leaves. Well, I've already gathered enough leaves. We have all this scaffolding, all these leaves, and some of the deep slate as well to build the farm. So overall, it should be a pretty easy build. So as you can kind of see behind me, I have pretty much fully built this raid farm. There's still a couple of things we need to do, like the storage. But for the most part, we have this raid farm fully built up, which is excellent. Now, I was streaming at the same time I built this thing, so if you do want to see like most of the creation, then you can go ahead and watch the stream. Basically, I was a bit distracted and forgot to hit start recording on AlienBot's laptop. So I'll quickly walk you through what happened, and then I'll show you some clips from the stream, because when I realized this, I did record some clips on the stream. They will unfortunately have the actual overlay that I have on stream on. I can't really do anything about that, but it's better than having no clips, I think. The original pillager outpost was actually here, and I chose to destroy it. This isn't at all necessary. I just thought it would be a bit easier to work in the area. And you can actually see here there are two pillager spawn spots, or pillager spawn spots, sorry. Now, right now, they are both disabled because I have the block of leaf on them. But yeah, there are two spawn spots. Then obviously going into the trapdoor trident killers I showed you earlier. We also have this really, really long slime extender thingy to turn the farm on and off from all the way up here, if I could actually fly up. So yeah, we have this lever here, which if I flick that, will power all those pistons to actually power the observer clock, which will, well, turn on and off the trapdoor trident killer. We, of course, have the villager, and we have the spawning platform up here as well. And that's all pretty basic. It's basically the same as what I did in the testing world. Now, we do have this tube here, which will deliver me the experience from down here. So we are also getting all the experience from these trident killers as well as the raid itself, which is something most raid farms don't do, surprisingly. And yeah, that's all pretty standard. You've kind of already seen the design, so there's no point in me walking you through the specifics. So anyway, now I'm going to show you some clips I recorded on stream. So firstly, we have a rather entertaining one of me transporting the villager over here. And let's just say there was more than one attempt to transport that villager. Okay, so just here nearby, there's the farm for reference. We have this village, which actually has villagers in, unlike the one over there, which is completely abandoned. So I'm going to, well, grab a villager, put him in a boat, and boat across this ice. Now, luckily, there is an ice river here, so it's really not going to take that long at all to transport this guy, well, over to the farm. I mean, the hard part's going to be transporting him up, but we have scaffolding. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It'll be fine. Okay, so my plan might be a little bit stupid, but I want to build up really, really high and then glide with the elytra, which is probably a really terrible idea. But you know what? It will be entertaining, so let's try it. All right, so if we have this scaffolding here, what we can do is float over from that one to this one and hopefully not take any full damage, or more importantly, hope that the villager doesn't take any full damage, because for some reason mobs, when they're in boats, can take full damage, which is super annoying. Okay, we are above the cloud level now. All we got to do is glide and land on that scaffolding. The other thing we can't do is we cannot use rockets. We can't boost. Right. The good thing is there's water. So if the villager lands in water, he won't take full damage. But let's stop procrastinating. Let's just go. No, we've lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, okay. It didn't fall off with us. Maybe I should build outwards a little bit. We got to be really careful, though. Maybe I should just build out a little bit. Why isn't he coming out? There we go. There we go. All right. Stop swinging around. All right. So let's try that again, then. Let's glide over here and see if we can make it. Probably not. But, okay. We've got to go slowly. Slowly. Steady. Steady. Oh, I can't see the bit that we need to land on. Uh-oh. No, we've overshot. We've overshot. Land on the scaffolding. Oh, dear. We've lost the villager. Oh, dear. Oops. Well, I guess we need another villager. And also to sleep, because it's night. Hello there, my good sir. You are villager number 2. Don't question what happened to your other person that I stole earlier. It's completely fine. If you could come out here to your workstation, that would be extremely helpful. Thank you. There we go. And yeah, we're just going to take you over there. You're going on holiday, my good sir. Don't worry. You're going on holiday. Absolutely nothing to worry about whatsoever. Why is he who's he breeding with? Don't breed. Please don't breed. Okay, it is time for attempt number 2. So we are going to need to build out a little bit like we... Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, the villager is safe. The villager is safe, guys. Do not panic. Don't know why that thing with scaffoldings happens so much. Right, let's actually, this time, let's build out as far as we can. So we're as close as possible. I landed on the boat. How did I do that? No! No. Many hours later. Right, lead the villager. Drag him out. I have high hopes for this one. I think this is going to be the villager. Let's just wait for him to stop swinging as much. This is the one. We got to fly from here to there. We can do it. Okay, yep. We don't really want him... Oh, there we go. Perfect. I was going to say we don't want him landing on the scaffolding, but never mind. Also, I can... Wait, hang on. I've just noticed that there's a... There's an igloo over there. Nice wool gen. Is the door... Yeah, the door's just here. Okay, that's funny. Let's see. Is there anything inside here? This is probably the only igloo I've actually seen on this world. Hey, we could have used this villager. We could have rescued him. No, I'm actually going to take those. Don't need the coal. You know, we'll just leave you two there to do whatever you want to do. So now that that's been dealt with, the only other thing we really need to do is actually build some sort of storage system for this place. So we have an auto dropper right there, which I need to add a stair on the front so that the items will just fall directly down, but they'll fall directly down sort of to here, I think it is. Yeah, here. So we can just put a hopper here to catch all the items. And yeah, overall, this storage system will actually be pretty simple, all things considered, which is good news because I like simple stuff. Well, sometimes I like overcomplicated stuff, but for today's storage system, I feel like having simple stuff is better than overcomplicated stuff. And just like that, we now have a fully functional sorting system. Although it has just occurred to me, we haven't got a place for the non-stackables. I was going to add just a ton of hoppers down on this side. But yeah, these are all of our item filters anyway, and they're just filtering different types of emeralds and witch drops, because you of course get witches in raids, and also banners and arrows is somewhere in there as well. So what will happen is the items drop from that dropper, where they'll land in this hopper, and then they'll go into this chest, which will go into this auto dropper, which will spit them out into the water stream. Now, the reason that I haven't just built a water stream leading from here to here, honestly, I don't know why I didn't do that. I built that part when I was very tired, so maybe we'll change that in the future if this auto dropper gets too annoying. or if it gets backed up or something. I don't really know why I didn't just build a water stream. Don't question it. Don't question it. Okay, moving on. Basically, they'll go round, and then if they miss any of the sorters, they'll fall down here, where they'll then go along here and up and back around into the loop. The reason it goes down here is because we then have this section, which is another auto dropper, which picks up all the items from the lower trident killers with 3 hopper minecarts, which is way more than we need, but that's fine. Don't worry about that. So I guess all that we really need to do now is test it, although the server's restarting in 5 minutes, so I don't think it's a good idea to test it when that's happening. And we don't have any bulk storage, so I think what I'm also going to do is go ahead and add in some bulk storage before we do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we can go test it. This is good news. Well, that's what I would have done, and then 1.19.50 just released, so I'm now got to update the server first. So we'll update the server, and then we'll run the farm after building bulk storage. Jeez, why is there always something? Anyway. And there we go. We now have this, which is literally just some bulk storage with some hopper minecarts up here so that hopefully no items will go past. So this will store all of the iron gear and the totems and whatever else we get from this farm. So I think now all we need is some tridents, which I have in my trident box. And then we can run this farm for the very first time, which is exciting. And that's one trident in there. There we go. And another trident in there. So if we flick this lever just to make sure they're both working, I can see that one in there looks like it's working, and that one is working as well. Excellent. Okay, so we can turn this off now, and then we're gonna fly up here to the killing chamber, basically. Well, this raid farm isn't working. So yeah, I don't know why they're not spawning, because look, I've even moved down. So I'm gonna oh, I just realized I'm an idiot. I blocked off the spawn spots, didn't I? The spawn spots, oh my goodness, that's why it's not working. Oh my gosh. Let me turn this off, jeez. Restart. And that's the first spawn spot fully activated, so we'll just poke that hole back up. And that's the second one all, well, unlocked, unloaded, activated. I don't really know what word to use to describe it, to be completely honest. But nevertheless, the farm should now be fully ready. So let's hope nothing blows up. And, well, let's activate the farm. And we may even already see some spawning. Yep, I can already see there's some in here. So we'll turn on the trident killer. And we might get bad omen instantly. Or we might have to wait for a little bit. Oh, you know what? I've relogged, so I got to rethrow the tridents, haven't I? Rethrow the trident. There we go. Flick that. And now, what we should be able to do is first of all grab ourselves some more milk. And second of all, fly back up here, flick the lever, and see that we should now hopefully get a little bit of bad omen. And there we go, we have bad omen and a raid is starting. Now, I have made another mistake and forgotten to throw the trident in. So we'll do that, cover it back up, and there we go. And the raid should have spawned now. I can hear it, and it doesn't appear to be down there, which is good. Yes, okay, now I am just going to fly up here just to make sure that everything is definitely working. Snow, that's bad. I guess we'll need some string to stop snow from, well, basically spawning up here, but that's fine, we can do that, because we don't want the snow to get so thick that it will turn into a full block, do we? So, AlienBot has been doing a whole ton of AFKing over here at the raid farm now. So, as you can see, we have quite a lot of emeralds as well as lots of other types of drops. So yeah, we have got a whole lot of drops, including lots of different totems. In fact, I have already refilled up my totem shulker box as well. So we have tons of totems. I already had one in my hand as well. So plenty of totems. So I think it's probably a smart idea to open some sort of shop to sell some of this stuff. Obviously, our main aim right now is to use the emeralds that we're getting to trade for food, though, for our food shop. So we'll do that in a bit, because there's some other stuff I want to show you. Because we've had a couple of issues, and I do believe I have now fixed them. Because, firstly, it seems that they can actually spawn on glass, believe it or not. So raids appear to actually be able to spawn on glass. Now, I'm pretty sure this button is spawn-proofing the one up here, but, I mean, we'll find that out soon, I guess. And this one should be spawn-proofed via this door. However, there used to be a piece of glass here that we'd stand on to AFK at that I had to remove because I'm pretty sure raids were spawning on it, which is not very good at all. I've also added this like slab thing underneath the villager area, and this is so that the ravagers don't go all kinds of weird and basically fall down the kill chamber, because that's what they were doing. So hopefully those minor modifications to the farm have made it actually not break now, but I suppose only time will tell. And I just want to see how many emeralds do we have in total so far from this farm. And the answer to that question isn't quite yet. We don't have tons of emeralds, but we certainly have a pretty reasonable amount of emeralds, certainly enough for us to go ahead and buy some golden carrots, which is, well, really all we wanted this farm for. So I'm going to grab all of the resources that I used, because we don't want to leave another shulker monster over here. And then we're going to head back and do some villager trading. Who would have thought? So over here at the Iron Farm Villager Trading Hall, we might even have some emeralds spare in one of these. Okay, no we don't, but we do have plenty of red dye that we can trade with this chap to get many emeralds. There we go. In fact, we need some more red dye. Basically, long story short, we are certainly not short of emeralds. And let's craft these all out into blocks so we can see how many we've got. Wow, that is a lot of emeralds. Okay, so now we're going to go and actually trade, to actually get the stock for the shop. So first of all, we're going to need an absolute ton of golden carrots. That guy's already sold out. We're going to need more golden carrots. Also sold out, and we're also going to need bread and some more bread, and we'll need apples that we can craft into golden apples, which is this one, and there we go. And I don't think that guy sells apples, so there we go. We already have some stock, but now we have a severe excess of of emeralds and not enough villagers to trade. So I'm not 100% sure how we can solve that issue. Obviously we have a villager spare that I used a couple of episodes ago for the shop itself. So what I'm thinking is we could get another villager there to give us some food, perhaps. But I get the feeling I'm probably going to do that villager in a stream project. So back here at the food shop, we of course need to stock some of the stuff that we have. So we have bread, which we can obviously put in there, and we'll have more in the future. We have the golden carrots that we can put in here. And I actually probably have some more in my food shulker box as well. Okay, I have one more. We have a little bit of steak, or beef as it's called on Bedrock. So we're going to need more of that as well. And we're going to need to get that via some sort of passive animal farm, I guess. Now, we also need to go ahead and craft ourselves up some golden carrots. So over here at the rather loud gold farm, we can, of course, get tons and tons of gold. And using that gold, we can then craft ourselves some golden pineapples, as well as some golden carrots that we can get from the carrot farm, just situated right over here, actually. It's all very, very conveniently close together. And even better, golden carrots are actually reasonably cheap because you need golden nuggets to craft them instead. So you can actually get a pretty decent amount of golden carrots reasonably easily with a gold farm like this that produces you absolutely tons of gold. And yet we have plenty of golden nuggets in here, some more in here, as well as some ingots. So we've ended up finishing up with this many golden carrots and this many golden apples, which isn't great, all things considered, but we can of course run the gold farm for longer afterwards and trade with more villagers afterwards. It's going to be a lot of off-camera work, I think, to actually stock this shop, but hopefully it'll be worth it because everybody needs some food. I'm going to say hello to Xbytes, and then we're going to go and, well, stock the shop that we have so far. The only thing that we don't have is steak, which we'll probably have to do next episode because we're going to need a passive mob farm for that or something like that. So one last thing I did so that we could maximize our gold output, basically, is I went ahead and smelted down all of the golden swords we got from the gold farm into golden nuggets so we could craft even more golden carrots. So we're ending up with this many golden carrots, this many golden pineapples. We currently don't have any enchanted golden pineapples. We have a little bit of steak and a little bit of bread as well. So we are going to need to do a whole lot more villager trading and things like that to get more stock. But I would say we are probably ready to open at least some of these items. I don't think we'll actually open the steak yet, but we will certainly do the bread, the golden pineapples and golden carrots. And there we go. I have now put up the prices for everything. So we have 3 diamonds per stack of golden carrots. We have 5 diamonds per 32 of golden apples, 2 diamonds per stack of cooked beef, and 1 diamond per stack of bread. So those are the sort of tiers. Now, I am aware that steak on Bedrock Edition, I'm pretty sure is actually a better food source. However, because this is sort of covered in golden and it, you know, it's got the different tiers, I'm hoping we'll have a little bit of psychology in here, and we're going to trick people into buying the golden carrots because, you know, they sound rich and people want to be rich on this server. It's weird. Well, it's not weird because I'm also one of these people that want to be rich on the server, but that's not the point. Now, the last thing I want to do is come over here and check out the cube of chores. And let's see, we have skull. I have already read these off camera, and yeah, these are all the same, I believe. And yeah, basically, Skull wants 3 people, I'd assume, to help him finish his base. So maybe we'll go ahead and help him with that. I think let's read it again. I think he just wants, yeah, collecting materials and blocks. But maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. I've got stuff I've got to do as well. But I feel like that could be a good thing after we've finished all this stuff. Because I have mentioned, but this season is sort of coming to an end. I am pretty near completing everything I want to get done, so we'll anyway, more information about that later, I suppose, because that's going to be it for today's episode of Pinacraft Season 3. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, then don't forget to leave a like, and if you're interested in more Minecraft Bedrock Edition content like this, then don't forget to subscribe today to join the Alien Empire. I'll see you in the next episode, coming very, very soon. Huge thank you to the supporters on screen now. Bye.